us a bit more of an idea of what kind of range these drones operate on?
Well, it really depends on the type of drone that's in use, and it's worth pointing out that I think still at the moment the authorities are unsure of what type of drone is actually being used, be it a commercial off-the-shelf drone that we see every day that potentially a hobbyist might use, to the more commercial drones, or even a bespoke home build drone. But effectively the capabilities of commercial drones have been rapidly developing over the last few years, and it's been quite a transformation. But essentially you can get certainly a number of kilometres of control distance between the controller and the drone itself.
Which will make it all the more difficult, obviously, to find the perpetrators of this. But they could have catastrophic consequences, couldn't they, should they hit an aeroplane?
There's been some research into the potential problems of that, yes, and I think this goes back to the point that Mr. Baldoni was mentioning in terms of the potential registration and legislation around this. Our point of view is that legislation is welcomed in this young sector for drones, and we are very much behind the adoption of drone technology. But as with all technology, like computers, etc., there's going to be those that wish to use it for other purposes, essentially what we're looking at here is a very sustained and deliberate act of disrupting the flights here at Gatwick.
They could potentially bring down the plane, could they, if a drone was to hit a plane?
It really depends on the approaching speeds, really, of the drones. They're obviously a threat. They're obviously a real threat that the government is taking seriously, and there is a possibility. Of course, it'd be much alike to a bird strike.
Well, this is exactly, well, that's my next question now. There's a lot of discussion about how to stop these drones, and just briefly now, but we're hearing possibilities of shooting down the drones, but even also birds being used to stop them.
Yes, I mean, the issue we see with shooting down is the collateral impact of potentially not hitting the target. We're talking of a drone, something the size of a dinner plate, moving at speed, highly manoeuvrable, therefore it makes it rather hard to actually shoot down with any kind of projectile, be it a bullet or whatever. The Netherlands has tried birds to capture this, but that's been proven unsuccessful. Our view is that we look at the major technology that's actually being used by the drone itself, which is the radio frequency that transmits the video and imagery from the drone to the controller, and that's where we've seen the most effective way of combating the encroachment of drones into airspace.